Hey folks, I'm here with the Bomber Wave build. This build spams Blood Wave 3.5 times a second to take the Urivar's Lobbed bombs power and make it go boom. Most of the damage you're seeing on this screen is the boss power and not Blood Wave. Blood Wave is doing basically no damage, even though it's overpowering and whatever. I just saw 70 billion with that Urivar's Lobbed bombs. Show you what we're doing. Go away, little mob. Okay. So we got Urivar's Lobbed bombs. These do a lot % weapon damage. We then scale that lot % with Avarice Explosive 4, which consumes our resources to do more. And then 2 generic damage modifiers, 25% here and 30% here. Sacrifice mages, golem, standard stuff. Currently using Zan. I probably should replace this, because Overpower doesn't matter. We're using Gore Coils in combination with Fast Blood to pick up Blood Orbs. This takes our cooldown for Blood Wave down to 0.24 seconds, because Urivar's gives us 5 seconds of cooldown reduction automatically, and doesn't have a cooldown itself, so it's always up. Custman's Legacy for bunches of damage and lots of cooldown reduction. Cursed Aura, so we don't have to think. And then a bunch of generic damage modifiers, like the sacrifice bonuses. This one is 30% damage, and it decreases the cooldown on our Blood Wave. Generic damage modifier. Extra attack speed. This should be replaced with a generic damage modifier if I had properly tempered all my gear with blood attack speed. Of course, Fast Blood. Another thing to note, it's really important to have at least one piece of gear with casting ultimate skills restores primary resource. This allows us to fuel the resource cost of both Avarice's Explosive Ore modifier, which consumes all of our resources to make our Urivar's Lobbed bombs do more damage, and it powers Cax, which is our biggest damage increase. We cannot run Cax in combination with Zan because the order of operations happens where Urivar's Lobbed bombs will consume all of our resources, and then Cax will try to proc at 0 resources, so nothing happens. That's why I have to run it with Ahu. Alright, let's finish this dungeon. I don't think we're going to be able to clear much past tier 90, since Zan cannot make these bombs overpower like it should. The additive damage increase from Overpower is about a 6 times modifier, and then all of the Overpower things you can get are, like Rathma's Vigor, are another, and Bloodbath, are another 6 times damage modifier. So, without access to Overpower, we're doing 1/36th the damage we should be doing, in spite of the fact that we can proc Zan with 150 bonus offering to 300 bonus offering once a second. So, not having the skills do what they say they should do is holding us back. But other than that, this is a pretty fun build. And I call it, a blender or a garbage disposal, because you see all these mobs just rotating around me as I blend them up. This is one of the few Necro builds that just doesn't use Grasping Veins because I am the Grasping Veins. Not Grasping Veins, Corpse Centrals. One thing to note about Urivar's Lobbed bombs is all 4 bombs will actually hit the target in the middle of your screen, or targets. So the larger hits are in the range of, 60 to 100 billion, and then it's hitting 4 times. So in theory, you're doing about 200 billion damage top end with Urivar's Lobbed bombs. And that's without overpowering. If we could overpower, we'd be beaten good. Might not have gotten enough mobs on the previous floor, rip. Yep. Bad routing. Oof. Alright, we still have plenty of time to beat this boss. So, most boss abilities we're entirely immune to. I mean, look at my barrier, it's just staying full, and I'm not even, like, properly built. This one boss mechanic with the shooting out flames in all directions can actually pierce our barrier, like it can make it fall down. And that, combined with certain Lilith effects, could actually kill us. But most of these boss shades abilities, we don't have to worry about in the least. And so what I should try to do is probably Blood Mist, like this guy, this ability, I can just stand in. Doesn't even hurt. I don't even see my barrier move. So we don't actually have to move out of that barrier, that Lilith mechanic. I just didn't want it to combine with the fire guy, which I can't really see. So that's why I preempted it. Alright. I think the only thing I didn't really go over was skill tree. Do that now. We don't even need these points in Lance. Lance doesn't do any damage. We just basically grab every passive we can that does damage. Get extra speed on our Blood Mist. Every passive that says damage. Passive says damage. Doesn't really say damage because Blood Wave doesn't do any damage. Passive that says damage, and that's why we have 3 shadow skills on our bar. Passives that say damage. Sort of says damage. As many ranks of Blood Wave as we can get. And then we skip Rathma's Vigor because Blood Wave doesn't do enough damage, even with Ultimate Shadow. It's better to just grab Affliction because it buffs the bombs. Paragon is problematic. We get all the standard generic damage modifiers like Essence, but things like Bloodbath don't increase the damage because it's only blood skill damage that gains the passive, which is dumb. But we can't activate Flesh Eater, so I guess this helps us a tiny bit. Undaunted gives us a little bit of Fortify damage to make our Blood Waves do something, I guess. Blood Begets Blood is great. It's a bunch of damage. And otherwise, it's just the standard set of things. We really need another 2 Paragon boards because Bloodbath is useless, and it's just less useless than Flesh Eater, and there's really nothing else we can grab. Alright, I'm going to continue working on this build in our Discord, or in the community Discord, which is here. There we go. In our community Discord, we have a bunch of threads. We've got Necromancer chat, you can come ask questions. You can go to the forum and look at different builds. There's also an FAQ maintained by Adminazina. She is awesome and posts all of the latest builds that are vetted by the community. And my old Spirit Wave thread, I have co-opted to post about Bomber Wave. So I have a little bit of the information about it. And as you can see, this is my old Spirit Wave thread where I used to do things like this. Alright, see you in the YouTube comments. Have a great day.